Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan, and this is your JIS news for Monday, February 24, 2025. CARICOM must be prepared to maneuver changes in the United States trade policy. That's an area of concern discussed at the 48th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM held in Barbados last week. Addressing a press briefing post-conference on Friday, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness said leaders would be conducting a detailed review of CARICOM's trade arrangements with the U.S. to guide the way forward.
We hope that in another 3 or 4 months we will have a document which will give us a policy direction and give advice and support to the governments of the region as to how to treat with any potential change that may happen in U.S. foreign policy.
Dr. Holness says while many businesses have reached out to express grave concerns, the approach should not be of panic. He also asserts that CARICOM governments and businesses should not only look at the potential disruptions to normal trade routines, but also the opportunities that may arise.
The region has a well-established office for trade negotiations, and it has worked very well for us, and we are using the incredible resources in that office to study the challenges that could come and to provide us guidance, all the governments in the region, guidance as to how we should structure our trade policy to both mitigate any fallout but take advantage of the opportunities.
535 residents of Grange Pen in Rose Hall, St. James have now received certificates of title for their properties. The land titles were presented in a ceremony on Friday. This is the first phase of a project by the Housing Agency of Jamaica and the Tourism Enhancement Fund to regularize informal settlements through infrastructure developments and the granting of titles for properties that have been paid for in full. $964 million was spent to get infrastructure for the area ready, including the build-out of roadways and storm drains, as well as a water supply distribution and sewage collection system. Minister of Tourism, under which the TEF falls, and Member of Parliament for the area, Edmund Bartlett, says it is the responsibility of the government to intervene and provide necessary housing and supporting infrastructure for its people.
And whether you pay for it immediately, or you pay for it 20 years down the road, or 15 years down the road, you know that nobody is able to take you off that because the government, through its agency, acquired that, and it is now the property of the people of Jamaica. And you, as an individual person, will get an opportunity to have benefit from that.
He says phase 2 of the project is coming soon, offering 1,635 units to workers in the tourism industry. $8 billion has been budgeted to kick government's shared prosperity through accelerated improvement to our road network Spark project into high gear in the fiscal year that begins April 1. The 3-year project has a total budget of $45 billion, and this year's allocation is expected to bring the civil works to 40% completion. The main contractor is to be mobilized, pipelines and related materials bought, and the procurement of the required parcels of land completed. During a sitting of the House of Representatives earlier this month, Minister with responsibility for works Robert Morgan expressed excitement for the project and what was to come.
This is the next chapter of Jamaica's development. With the Spark program, we are not just fixing roads, we are building pathways of opportunity. This initiative is an investment in the future of our citizens and a demonstration of the government's unwavering commitment to national development.
As of December last year, civil works contracts have been awarded for packages 1 to 4, and the supervision consultancy contracts for packages 2 to 4 were awarded, while that for package 1 was retendered. Meanwhile, $100 million is being awarded to complete work on the Troy Bridge in Trelawney in the upcoming fiscal year. Earlier this month, the Works Minister reported that the bridge, which collapsed in August 2021 during the passage of Tropical Storm Grace, was 45% complete.
They have already embedded the piles. They are now capping the piles to put on the upper structure of the bridge.
While that work continues, a footbridge has been built to facilitate access to residents and other persons who normally use that route. Tax Administration Jamaica TAJ is reporting that over 4,000 uncollected payments under the Reverse Income Tax Credit Initiative are still awaiting collection at remittance agencies. The TAJ is urging all individuals who have not collected their payments to do so by March 7, 2025. After this date, the agency says any uncollected money will be returned to the Consolidated Fund as required by law. Since last October, the government has disbursed $6.9 billion under the Reverse Income Tax Credit Program, with approximately 300,000 individuals benefiting so far. Applications for the initiative are now closed. However, taxpayers can still visit the Reverse Income Tax Credit Hub to track the status of their applications and access relevant information. TAJ is reminding taxpayers to have a valid government-issued identification card and their transaction number on hand when collecting the disbursement. And finally, the Princess Margaret Hospital in St. Thomas has further boosted patient care at the facility by introducing its family care system. Senior Medical Officer Dr. Dwight Whittle says the system seeks to allow discussions with physicians as persons seek information on the health status of their family members. Patients and their families are allowed a sit-down dialogue with their physicians to discuss the patient's progress or lack thereof, as well as the resources that the hospital may or may not have and how to negotiate constraints.
Over the past decade, we have strived to make the patient experience better. We take complaints very seriously, and we have taken steps to mitigate against unfavorable events that a patient may experience during their course in the hospitals.
Dr. Whitlow speaking at a recent JIS think tank. He says the system is now part of the standard of care for all patients at Princess Margaret Hospital. Family conferences can be initiated by the physician through the Medical Records Department or a family member making a call or visit to the department, which would in turn contact the attending physician to ascertain a time convenient for the parties involved.
For the future, we would like to augment this program. We certainly would like to strengthen and allow for patients to be aware of it and to make use of it.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.